Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Edwin back again for Strictly Comics, and I haven't done a video in quite a while, probably close to a couple weeks, and I'm sorry about that, you guys. Been a little busy, but this is going to be something a little bit different, and it's kind of a tribute to Paul Walker, but not really. Want to just show you a couple things. Well, wanted to show you something that I picked up today, but before I show you that, I want to show you a couple things that I have. I have the first Fast and Furious DVD that I bought probably a couple years ago, and I got this because I think Fast Five had come out and they were having a sale on all of these, just like they always do every time a new Fast and Furious movie comes out. But this time it was it was much cheaper than it had been before, and then you get the digital copy with it, which I have on my iPhone and my computer, which is really cool. I also have Too Fast, Too Furious. This one I like a lot. I know that a lot of people didn't like it, and I actually remember looking at the Rotten Tomato review, and it got like a 27 or 30%. This was an awesome movie. Okay, I really don't listen to what critics have to say because the fans gave it like a 80 or 90%. This was a good movie, really good movie. Next, you guys, I picked up, bam, Fast and Furious. This is the fourth installment. And in case you're wondering, like, dude, why didn't you get Tokyo Drift? Tokyo Drift kind of sucked. The only parts of Tokyo Drift that I like were the beginning with the intro and the music, and then like the last 5 minutes with Vin Diesel. The rest of it was very unrealistic, and it was just kind of a joke. Uh, the next one I got was Fast Five. Now, this is a really good movie as well, you guys. This was the only Fast movie that I saw in theaters twice. I liked it that much. Um, so yeah, that was awesome. And then today, I went to Walmart because I knew the Fast and Furious movies were coming out, and I picked up this Fast Six. This is the steel case cover. It's okay. There's nothing really great about it other than the fact that it's a steel case. It has the Blu-ray, it has the DVD, and then it has the see right here, and then it has the little flyer, and then the code, which I'm not going to show because it has the digital copy for Ultraviolet. I really just wanted this to get the DVD. I don't even have a Blu-ray player, so I'm probably actually going to sell the Blu-ray on eBay. So if you guys are interested, my eBay seller name is 9163 Edwin. That's right, 9163 Edwin. If you guys want to interested. But in the recent events of Paul Walker's death, I was actually gonna get that anyways. I actually remember looking a couple weeks ago to find out like when is the DVD gonna be out because the movie came out like 6 or 7 months ago. It came out so long ago. I'm like, they usually don't wait that long to release a DVD, and the DVD was actually supposed to be released in the beginning of January, so it wasn't supposed to come out until like a month from now. But because of his death, they released it a month sooner. So, like I said, I was gonna pick it up anyways, and I was glad that I was able to pick it up because that movie is actually this one is actually really really good. Justin Lin does such a awesome job. This one was so unpredictable. And spoiler alert: if you haven't seen it, you should have seen it. So you should be ashamed of yourself. But spoiler alert: I just love how Justin Lin brought back other bad guys from I think it was Fast Five, and then no, like it was like Fast and Furious, the fourth installment. He brought back and kind of put him in this movie a little bit. So I thought that was really really cool, and I was actually hoping that they would have gotten to the point to where they would have brought back the bad guy from Too Fast Too Furious, the one that was opposite of Eva Mendes, because he didn't die. He just got a gunshot wound and he got arrested. So that would have really been cool if they would have brought him back maybe in a future Fast and Furious movie. So, but a couple of things I wanted to talk about was I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I know that a lot of people have been all over YouTube, all over the internet, talking about Paul Walker's death. And Yeah, it's a very sad thing, and I'm really just heartbroken from what happened because I've been a fan of his work. I've seen a lot of movies of his outside of the Fast and Furious franchises, and the guy is just such a good actor, and I felt like I related to him only in only in accordance with the Fast and Furious movies because every young kid in his late teens, 20s, you want that fast car, you want that tricked out whip, you want to just be out there just ripping it on the streets and stuff like that. And that's kind of where I felt like I related to him, so to speak. I'm not tall, I'm not a surfer, I'm not from California, none of that stuff. So those movies when you're a young kid, young adult, you just have that emotional attachment to those characters, and they do such a good job of connecting with the audience, especially male viewers. And you know, I remember just wanting to do my car and tricking it out and all that stuff to make it look and have that feel of a Fast and Furious movie, but I realized real quick that that gets pretty expensive, so I just kind of went on to something else. But nonetheless, I had a Honda Civic, with the rice cooker, the rice sound, the the catback muffler and stuff like that. So I've had all that stuff, and it was fun, but I can't see myself driving something like that all the time. But anyways, so it's really really upsetting to hear his death, and I just remember watching videos. I just couldn't believe it. And then the way he died. I mean, although I did hear that he was unconscious when the car exploded, which is good. I mean, you never want to see anybody go out like that in that kind of pain and suffering. But if he was unconscious, I'm glad because of that. But I wanted to say, as a Christian, I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents about it because I hear reports about like, oh, heaven got another angel, or he was taken away from us too early. And all those are good words to hear, especially for family members and stuff like that. But nobody knows when they're going to be taken. I remember reading in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, it says that it is appointed for every person to die once. Of course, everybody wants to go out in their sleep, but that's not reality, and that's not the world that we live in. I hear stories like when people die in plane crashes. Oh my God, how could God have done this? I remember when people die in hurricanes. Oh my God, how could God have done this? And then you hear stories of such as Paul Walker. And you just think like death is such a small part of this life. It just opens up a door to leave a life in which there's suffering, there is pain, people suffer from hatred and anger, depression, sickness, disease, murder, rape, molestation. Now, everybody doesn't experience these things, but it's still a fallen world that we are in, and millions of people experience these type of situations. So death is just a small part of what happens, and then when we do experience it, we leave this world and we go into another. And with that being said, if Paul Walker is in heaven, and I don't know, I can only assume that he's a Christian because he went to a Christian school growing up. I don't know, but if he is, and if he's with God in all of his glory, where there is no suffering, there is no sin, there is no sickness, there is no disease, do you really think that he'd want to come back? And I tell people this who have experienced the death of a loved one or a close friend, Because you really have to think about that. If I left this world with all this crap going on and I'm up with God in all of his glory, would I really want to come back? And I would have to say that the answer to that question is no. I wouldn't want to come back. Why would I want to? That just means that I would have to experience death again and then, you know what I mean, leave this world. So I don't know how much that means to people, but get this in your mind. We enter into this world through suffering, childbearing, pain. Our first reaction is we're crying. We live in this world through suffering, again, with sickness, disease, sin, death. And then we leave this world in suffering. I just told you how the Word of God says that it is appointed that everybody dies once. So we're in a fallen world. Everybody experiences this. Death is a part of life now. It won't be forever. But in the meantime, it is. So I say that because I know how everybody's thoughts are and how everybody's feelings are towards Paul Walker. And me, in a sense, it really upsets me. It got to the point where I really had to just stop watching stuff on it because it really just started getting me more and more upset because of that, again, of that emotional attachment to his character. And I feel for his family, for his daughter, his parents, his brothers. And I have prayed for them. And I'll continue to do so. But I want everybody to realize that at the end of all of my videos, when I say keep God first, I really mean that every time. Because God really should be the most important thing in everybody's life. He is there for us. He is the one that reaches out to humanity to try to redeem us and try to pull us into a close, right, personal relationship with him. And it's because of God's love. He loves people. He loves his image. He loves humanity so much that he gave his only son, that whoever believes on him should not perish but have everlasting life. So I just hope that these words rest with you, with everybody watching. And I do want to say that if you are kind of going through right now, if you're kind of just dealing with hard times, if you're dealing with anger, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with, just fear, if whatever it is, call out to God and he will hear you. Get in your word. Listen to what God has to say in his word. And just call out to him. Get on your knees. Pray. Go to church. I've never known anybody to go to church and feel bad when they come out. Everybody's always gone to church and everybody's always felt a lot better when they've gone. Go to church. Get surrounded with some Christian friends that can minister to you, that can be there for you, and just soak up what God has for us. Because God is there to satisfy us and to fill us internally, spiritually, so that we can be there and be whole and complete for ourselves and be there for other people just as Paul Walker was. His life was very inspiring to me. I learned a lot of things over the past week that I did not know about him. And because of it, I've been even more inspired to do what God has been calling me to do. And I will be doing these things here pretty soon. Look at his life and be inspired and be encouraged to do and live the best life that you can, not just for yourself, but for other people. We are in a Christmas season right now, a season of greeting, a season of giving. So be there for somebody else during this season and be encouraged and be inspired by Paul Walker's life. To his family, I pray that God's peace will be with you. And I pray that God's love will fill you. And to all the Fast and Furious fans out there, the same with you. I pray that God's peace will be with you and that He will fill you with His love and with His presence. And I pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.